Hello, thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Honora Wall with EduCalc Learning, and I'm going to talk with you today about using manipulatives with students who have the math learning disability, dyscalculia. Now, if you are a math teacher or an interventionist or a homeschool parent, you're already familiar with manipulatives. But what we're talking about, if you are not in any of those fields, we're talking about an external device that we use to enhance comprehension and hopefully support coding and moving students from concrete, tactile thing you can hold and use into a representation and then the abstract understanding of a concept. There's a million manipulatives out there for all different grade levels, but are they really useful for students who have dyscalculia? And if so, in what way? You have many different kinds of manipulatives to choose from when you're looking for things that will help your students learn and understand math better. Things like dice or dominoes are old school methods that have a lot of applications you should be using. But also there's Cuisenaire rods. You could have charts or posters that you keep up in the room or in your homeschool area. And then, of course, some people use blocks or spinners or play card games. So lots of different options when you're looking at manipulatives, but we want to make sure that you're getting the right ones for students with dyscalculia and you're using them in the best way for these students. Of course, we're taking a very brief overview in this video. There's a lot to know about manipulatives and how they work. And if you want more information, please visit educalclearning.com. So I want to start with the Cuisenaire rods because these are very popular in a lot of elementary and some middle school classrooms. And they're really great for students who have low numeracy or weak math foundation. Basically, the different sizes of the rods relate to one unit, a set of 10, or a set of 100. And there's lots of different styles out there. The problem you're going to find for you students who have dyscalculia is that the rods themselves and using the rods don't translate into place value or helping students count on or count by larger groups. And that's what these manipulatives are designed for. So when we're using the manipulative properly and it's still not helping the student, that's frustrating for everyone concerned. And that's just a part of the math learning disability, which is actually very easy to accommodate. And we'll talk about that in this video too. And here's where you're going to run into a problem getting the manipulative to be used as a tool to help a student complete their math work. Here's some examples of different questions we ask in math. If we're looking at place value, or if we're adding or subtracting, or if we're multiplying, especially with fractions, then the student with dyscalculia isn't making that bridge from the concrete external manipulative into this problem. So you can try combining the problem itself with the manipulative and see if the student is responding well. If they are, they probably have a weak math foundation or low numeracy or some other obstacle to succeeding in math. But if they have dyscalculia, you're not going to get as far as you think that you should. So, as the teacher or the interventionist or private tutor or parent, what are you supposed to do? Well, I highly recommend that instead of using some manipulatives, if they're not working, then use a tool like I have here. If you're working on place value, have a place value chart and work with the student to look up the information on that place value chart. Dyscalculia makes it difficult to develop an internal mental number line, and that's why we want the external tools. If you're adding and subtracting, have a 1 to 100s chart or a number line handy and let the student use that to move on an increase or decrease so that they're adding and subtracting properly. We need the external tool because that internal mental number line doesn't exist or isn't as strong as we would find in students who don't have a math learning disability. And finally, once you're multiplying and dividing, use a multiplication list, not the chart, that classic rectangle with all the multiples inside. Those can be very confusing for students with dyscalculia or with visual spatial issues or with dysgraphia because they're trying to maneuver their fingers around that chart and Their fingers are getting all over the place and they're not getting the right answer. We want our students to use precision, and they're going to do that by checking their work using these external tools. Precision is always better than guessing, and that continued precision is going to lead to mastery and increased confidence. And I cannot overstate this enough. When you're using charts and posters and you're using a multiplication list or a 1 to 100s chart, you're supporting accuracy in the work. This increases self-efficacy for the students so they understand that they can succeed in math. Whether or not they're doing it as quickly or using mental math the way other students are, they can still be successful in your class. And hundreds of my students with dyscalculia have been successful in math classes, including elementary, middle, high school, college math. They've become honor students. So the opportunities are endless for students with dyscalculia when they have the right tools, much like wearing the right prescription glasses allows us to read clearly. And this can free up cognitive load so students can recall the steps and procedures they need to follow. It increases all of their mastery of work. Now, hopefully all of your math classrooms, your interventionist rooms, your tutoring centers, and your homeschool center have a lot of playing dice, playing cards, maybe some sets of dominoes, things like that that students can get their hands on. Not a computer-based program, but the actual physical object. This is going to help with subitization, which is a hallmark feature of dyscalculia. Subitization, being able to look at a group of dots and know how many you're looking at, does not occur. It can help practice our basic facts, but this is more of a game activity or an additional activity. We don't want to push memorizing basic facts for students with dyscalculia because the parietal lobe is going to forget that information over time, no matter what you do. Also, playing these games and working with fun objects is going to increase positive interactions with math, which is incredibly important for students with learning disabilities. They have too many negative experiences. It's our job to increase their positive ones. And of course, as they get older, this is going to help their understanding of probability because they've actually used decks of cards or sets of dice, and they understand those probability questions. If you're new to the world of dyscalculia, a few things that you should remember. This is a specific learning disorder that impacts math. The parietal lobe loses math information over time. So drilling those basic facts over and over again is like pouring water into a colander. Please stop. For students who have dyscalculia, the approximate number system, that mental number line, doesn't develop fully or in the same way. And that's why we need external tools to support these students. Some researchers feel this could be a coding issue between numbers, words, and concepts, and that weak coding can inhibit the successful mastery of math. Again, we can fix that by using these external tools like a multiplication list or a 1 to 100s chart. And later on, around 4th or 5th grade, a calculator at all times, even for quizzes and tests. People with dyscalculia tend to forget the processes and procedures and all of the steps involved in answering a math problem. And many times there's a comorbidity with visual spatial issues. So details like negative signs or absolute value signs as we get into higher levels of math are easy to get lost. Again, reducing cognitive load by using those external tools is going to help students pay attention to those small details. And while you should use any manipulative that is helpful for your student, and you should use manipulatives to enhance their positive experience with math, remember, no manipulative should ever replace the appropriate accommodations. Make sure your students are getting the accommodations they need. Thank you for watching this video. It's a very brief talk about manipulatives. There's a lot more to know. And if you would like to know more, please visit educalclearning.com. We offer online and in-person training for teachers who want to know more about dyscalculia, We also have a series of online math classes that are perfect for students with dyscalculia because they were designed with the math learning disability in mind. And you can order your teacher's dyscalculia toolbox. All this and more at educalclearning.com. I'm Dr. Wall. Thanks for watching.